Okay, so for this week's discussion post for Truth and Justice episodes 26 to 28, I feel like these episodes were really interesting for me to hear. Yeah, for the first episode, Bob Ruff, I think that's how you say his name. He like examines a major gap in the case, like Jesse and Miss Kelly's alibi for the night of the murder. It was okay, and then like for the non-perspective part 1, it connects to the following episode of part 2, which I found really interesting hearing. I think her name was Lisa O'Brien, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so going back to the Lisa O'Brien, I feel like this episode, she's a critic who represents the viewpoint of a different perspective of what people believe. Like, for example, this one was people who believe the West Memphis 3 might actually be guilty, which I thought was really interesting to hear about. That episode really represents like the arguments and the questions about the case, and adding to that, and also like the controversy to the discussion. I cannot say that word, sorry. And then on the last episode, it continues Lisa O'Brien's conversation with Ruff, like in the interview, and it like kind of continues the debate of theories and evidence with both sides, which I found really interesting because like you don't only hear your perspective in this case, but you're hearing other people and what they think in this case, which I found extremely interesting. Another thing was that they compared research and arguments, which provided me as a listener. So sorry, my dog. What was I saying? Oh, it provided the listeners with a different like point of view in this case, which I found really interesting. So like overall, these episodes focus less on like new evidence, but more in like analyzing the existing case, like especially challenging assumptions like alibis and like alternative point of views or like viewpoints, which they included voices that could disagree with another narrative. Some takeaways that I got from this episode was like a case can look very different depending on who's representing it, which I like. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. And like another thing is that did the television investigation, like did the law enforcement lock in too early on one suspect only, which can lead this case differently, because if they only focus on one person and like didn't like Mr. What was that dude's name? I keep forgetting his name, but he was like within the one cafe or bar. I don't know which one it was, but he was like muddy and bloody. Like they could have like investigated him as well instead of just like only one suspect. And another thing is that like question, like not always question the timeline, but like always have like a, because small gaps can change everything. Also another thing is that justice isn't always about verdict, but whether the process was fair, in which in this case I don't think it was fair for Jesse, because like he has like a very low IQ. He has a mindset of like a kid, and they were like questioning him for hours and only recorded like 45 minutes into his interview, which I don't think that's fair, but those weren't my thoughts. But I just feel like they could have done things differently in my opinion. But yeah, these were really interesting episodes. We got to like hear a different point of view, like of other people who like disagree or agreed with the Westminster 3 being guilty or not, which it makes you see a different point, like side or point of view or perspective. But yeah.